Hello everyone, welcome back to the Campbell Scale Models Barrel Manufacturing Company build. I've got some interior details to add to the model today, and I want to show you how that comes along. I am also going to try and get the videos to be a little shorter, approximately 10 minutes or so. So enjoy, and let's get on with the build. After having put the primer coat onto the 3D printed parts for the shop area here, these two workbenches, these were from Mind Mount Models. The first color I've put down is from Hobby Color, and this is their hemp color. Just a nice base color to go ahead and get things prepped and ready for further paint. I'm not going to go crazy on picking out all the details, but I will pick out a few just to give it some color so that they're not just one continuous color the whole way through. And once I did put this first color coat on, I was actually pleasantly surprised to discover that on the bottom shelf of this workbench, there is actually a nice little Easter egg here. And that is this little toy train. Little steam engine, little toy wooden steam engine. Perfectly appropriate for having this on a workbench. So that was a really nice little extra detail to find in there. While the paint is drying, I've gone ahead and started to work on tidying up the electrical wires for the lights that are going to be in the office area here and also down in the shop. The first one is the main light that's going to illuminate the whole office area. And I've got it on this on the back side of this front wall and set this into place on the train layout just to see how it illuminates the overall room. And it does a very nice job. Now, it is, with the dimmer switch, able to be dimmed down, but it does throw quite a lot of light out the back window over here onto the scenery in the back of the model, up onto the train layout. So I may need to do something to maybe put in some curtains or something into the window so that it will help to cut down the amount of light that's spilling out. But overall, I'm not overly worried about it because the whole point is just to illuminate the room a little bit to be able to see what's inside. Well, this is a very tight shot that I'm trying to get here, showing the wiring for going into the shop area. So you can see that I've got it pressed into the corner and running along the roof, which is the floor of the office. And then you can see it just starting to poke up into the air there. And that's all glued into place for the roof. I'm going to move to a better camera angle for the rest of this. So getting away from that extremely tight shot, you can see I've got the rest of the wire and the light here. There's plenty of material to work with so that I can be able to run it up the underside here, and it'll be ultimately out underneath the roof in some location. I haven't decided exactly where that's going to be yet, but I've got plenty of material to work with. Having had the model temporarily out on the train layout just to see how it's going to look, looking up through the office window, you can actually see the interior of the roof quite easily. So on the underside of this piece, I'm going to go ahead and paint this white so that it'll help to reflect the light and it won't just be the tan gray cardboard underneath. I will need to do something similar with the underside of the roof for the main shop area. However, it's not quite as visible, and with having the roof that is going to also be coming off and going over the dock, it's a lot less easy to see up into the roof area of the shop area with where this is located on the train layout. So nothing exciting there. Just painted the inside of the roof the white. And while I was waiting for the white paint to dry, I went ahead and painted the wire inside the office area, just so if somebody is looking through one of the other windows, they don't see the big black and gray wire. I did also paint the wire down in the shop area. It's far harder to see that one, but those are now ready to go. I'll probably end up painting a little bit more of that wire once I know exactly what may or may not end up being visible. I'm reluctant to attach the gooseneck lamp above the door because I still have the stairs to build, but at the same time I can't think of any other reasons why I might need to turn the whole building on its side at this stage, because everything else should be adding decorations from the for the interior from the top here, and I still have the roof for the dock to put on. So it should be safe to attach the gooseneck lamp and run those wires down and out through the bottom. With the lights installed and plugged in, you can actually see how well the interior of the office area is actually illuminated. Of course, the nice thing with the light hub setup is that you can certainly dim things down individually. So I could dim down the office light, I could brighten up the porch light, or I could turn that down, just to be able to create the overall effect that there is light inside. And that's under the full bright lights of my modeling area here. If I turn the overhead lights out, it'll really be bright. So now with the overhead lights off, you can see how very bright this is. But if I go ahead and I dim down the office area and I dim down the porch light as well, it brings it a little bit more into a more realistic effect. So I think this light hub is going to be a fun thing to actually use, and have those little rheostats on there to be able to play around with the brightness of the lights inside the buildings. While I'm waiting for other detail parts to arrive and getting myself prepped and ready to work on the roof panels, both for the dock and for the roof of the building, I've started adding some life to the interior and exterior of the building. So you can see here the workbenches inside the workshop, some completed barrels that are outside, ready to be loaded into freight cars for delivery, some other crates, and then the little set of Fowler figures that I got. This guy's pushing a barrel, but it was a very bright yellowish kind of tan. So I've gone ahead and darkened that, and now I am working on this guy here. You can see the same kind of color to the crate that he's carrying, and I'm just going through and getting that painted so that it's going to match and look a little more like the other materials that are being worked with at this shop. So I'm going to continue on with that and add a few more details to the interior. I received some wonderful parts from Mini Prints. This chair and desk are both going to be going up into the office area. They should both be visible through the window, through the front window of the model, and I'll get these all painted up to go into that very soon. Over here is a little potbelly stove, which is also going to go up in the office area. And as you can see with the wires coming out of it, this actually is lit up. I've already tested it out. It does work. And just inside the little open door of the stove itself there, you'll get a nice little red glow coming out of that. So I'll feature that once I get that installed into the model. Thanks very much for watching this episode, and until next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.